Hi everybody, hope everybody's doing well. I want to ask if anybody has ever been incorrectly marked as a bad associate while they've been attending the meetings throughout the time that they've been associating with Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it is like a lesser punishment, isn't it? It's not as severe as being disfellowshipped, but it's usually done from the platform. And not by individuals. It's not fair for an individual to just decide he wants to mark someone in the congregation. That's totally wrong. It's usually done from the elders. There's usually a bit of a talk on it, usually about the circumstances surrounding round why a person needs to be marked as a bad associate. You're never named. It's just the circumstances of that talk. But if people know about that circumstance, then they know it's you. So you may as well just hold a big banner up and say, "It's me." Well, anyway, I want to talk about a time when I was incorrectly marked by the chap, the older brother, that I used to study with. Who, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to call him Mr. Self-Righteous, Pious, so and so. I could name him, but should I? Well, he just decided upon himself that he would mark me. I didn't know why. I wasn't doing anything that was considered to be unchristian or anything like that. He just decided, because he was a full-time pioneer and I wasn't, that he would mark me. I think it was because I was better looking than him, because he had carroty red hair and he just wasn't that attractive to the women. So I think he did it because he was a bit jealous. That I'm going to hold that theory to this day. So what happened was, I just suddenly felt as if I was being left out of things. When previously I'd been included in all the sort of parties that we used to have and all the associations, all of a sudden I was just being left out of everything, and I just didn't know why. And my mother, she sensed there was something not quite right, and she said, "Why are you not out tonight with so and so?" And I said, "Because I've not been invited." She went, "Hmm," and I think she was pondering over it for a good week or so, and she might have had a little suspicion of why this was occurring. But she said nothing, and she didn't sort of drop any major hints at that time. Anyway, about sort of 2 weeks into it, I got used to actually not being around him at that stage, and I quite liked it. It was good. I didn't have the pressure of him saying we're out in the field service all Sunday and we've got to get 8 hours in or whatever it was. So I was really glad about that. But about 2 weeks later, as I was saying, there was a talk from the platform, from the elders, about the subject of marking. And I thought, it's interesting. It's not a subject that I'm very familiar with. So I was listening quite intently, and they came up with a scenario as to why a person should be marked. And is it really scriptural, is what they were saying, for just anybody to take it upon themselves just to mark someone in the congregation just because he wanted to or he felt like doing so? Because basically they were pressing home the point that it has to be a scriptural thing, that the elders would have to make that decision and not the individual who sat in the meeting or attending the congregation. He certainly doesn't have the right to do that. So it looked like this talk had hit home with this pious, self-righteous full-time pioneer that I used to study with. And a week later, he came round and gave me a present. He bought me something, but he never does that. Never buys me nothing. I'd known him a long time. He never really bought me a present. So I thought there was something not quite right at that point. And then I thought, do you know what? I'll just let him have it. So I said, "Oh, is this present to appease your conscience? Is this because you incorrectly marked me and you had to be told off by the elders?" Uh, and he didn't accept it. He didn't accept what I was saying. He just sort of, well, that's champion, isn't it? I buy you a present and that's how you treat me. So he didn't have the humility. I wanted to joke about it so that I could then move on, but he wouldn't go with it, would he? So this particular self-righteous, pious, full-time pioneer brother, eventually he starts courting this sister in one of the London congregations, and he marries her. So he moves away from our congregation. I wasn't that bothered whether he'd sort of gone or not, even though I used to study with him and we used to go out and field service. I think our relationship was already sort of drifting by that time. So he goes and moves down in London, and he does marry into quite a wealthy family. You know, it's one of those families where they've got like BMWs and Mercedes, you know, 4 or 5 cars in the drive. So you could say, from a material point of view, he's done quite well. And even her father decides to get him set up in a very, very good job at an American Air Force base down in that area as a storeman and keeping watch over components, booking him in and out, that kind of thing. So he's doing that job for a little while, and then I hear, sort of through the grapevine, because obviously we'd lost touch, I hear from my brother that he's gone to prison. I thought, what? You know, this news at 10, you know, where is it? Where's this news? Yeah, apparently what had happened was he'd run out of debts. He was almost sort of jealous of his contemporaries down in the London area because they all had a lot more money and a lot better cars and all that. And he tried to keep up with that pattern of materialism, and he embezzled thousands and thousands of pounds at the expense of the American Air Force base. So they got wise to him in the end. I think they set a bit of a trap, and they caught him, and they tried him, and they sent him to prison. So this is really kind of me getting things off my chest, so to speak. The person that I studied with back in 1981, 1980, 1981, all that early 80s time. This person who I used to go out on a full-time ministry with, when he was getting full-time pioneer hours in, I was getting auxiliary or more, just so that I could be out with him and sharing Jehovah's work, if you like. This brother turns out to be nothing more than a criminal. And even to this day, I don't think he's made any inroads to get back into the religion or into the organisation. I think he's got his own personal reasons, just like anybody else. Once they leave the organisation, I wouldn't mind if I had some kind of contact with him. If he could just say, Martin, no hard feelings. What's happened in the past. It would certainly help heal things, but I don't think that's likely to happen. As I said, I just wanted to share a lot of stories with you, and I think this is helping me. It's helping me see that at the time I may have been completely enveloped in this religion. I don't refer to it as a cult like a lot of you guys. I still call it a religion. And I've been taken over with it in the past, where I sort of ate, drank, and slept, all things relating to Jehovah's Witnesses. Obviously, I'm not that now, I've moved away from that kind of thinking, and I sort of want answers now. I want answers to why things seem to be unraveling. But as far as I know, the governing body are still supposed to be dispensing this spiritual food. I just haven't got proof that they're not doing. So I've shared that with you, and you're helping me heal, and that's important to me. I need to heal. Some of you guys have probably been healing for the last 3 or 4 years. I haven't. You see, I might have been out of the organisation sort of beginning of the 90s, and that is a long time, but I haven't healed. I just left, or drifted, or you guys call it faded, and I just waited to hear whether things were going to progress and we was going to get closer to the new system. And then I stumbled across some of your website videos, and I just thought, wow, this is huge. There's like a huge army on YouTube that used to be JWs who have all got stories to tell just like me. So I am sort of systematically working my way through a lot of your videos, and eventually, hopefully, I can get friendships going as well with some of you guys, because you all seem pretty clued up, pretty intelligent, and you've broken free of the mold, and that takes a lot of guts. So I do take my hats off to all of you for what you've done. So I just want to say, leave it there. There's no point now mulling over it anymore. Well, if anything else comes into my head in the meantime, on another day, and I feel as if I need to get another story out to heal, I will. I don't think I'm doing any harm by telling you these things, because they're all true. So, see you guys, and I'll catch you again sometime. So, bye bye.